I've asked Peggy if she would tell a little bit of a story of hers about how it happened that her time with Luther Memorial School LMS came to an end, okay? Yeah, come on up, Peggy, would you please?
Hi. So one of the main problems in my 15-year membership at Messiah Lutheran is that anytime Jerome Burse says anything and asks me to do anything, immediately I say yes. I need to work on that. It's dangerous. It's the wrong guy. I should be saying immediately. No, it's bad. Anyway, it seems like everybody's been beaten up by the church at some point in time. Many from different denominations. I've been beat up by 2 different ones, so working on my 3rd. So that's kind of fun. Yeah. So the story of how I got to Luther Memorial it was really a great burning bush moment, and it was a great joy to be the principal there and to work with the students. It's students, all low-income students, mostly minority students. One of the beautiful parts about Luther Memorial is a third, I did the math, it won't add up here, but it was a third white, a third black, a third Latino, and a third refugee. And so it really looked like what I think heaven's going to look like every single day, just looking at beautiful, beautiful children, and I was blessed with a beautiful staff. And just amazing God things just happened. Like baptisms, and the kids were starting to say crazy things like, "Can I get baptized? You talk about this promise of baptism, what that means, and Mrs. Beckman, can I do that?" And so we said sure, and then they said, "And can my aunt and my uncle and my mom and my dad, like we all want to be baptized?" And so this just started happening, and one of my favorite stories is that towards the end of the school year picnic, we all went down to this river down in the metro parks down in Cleveland, and we had planned with the new pastor that was affiliated. It was the church that we rented from, okay. But there was this time where things were okay, and we were all going to get along, and we were willing to kind of throw structure to the wind, you know, and we were going to. I think it was planned that there would be 5 baptisms that day. And the kids like literally wanted to be dunked in the river, and we're like, okay, we can do that because that's what they wanted, right? And on the way from the river, walking from the pavilion down to the river to do the baptism, I don't know how it happened, but we picked up 8 more kids who were going to be baptized. So like literally this is happening, and we're walking down. So there was no like instruction, there was no nothing. They're like, I want to be baptized too. And so I call up Pastor Burse on my cell phone. I'm like, you should come down here because we're about ready to baptize. I thought it was going to be 5, but now we got like 13 of these kids. I mean, and he's like, how did this happen? I'm like, why are you asking me that? It's Holy Spirit, dude. And so this happened, and it was beautiful. And then there was this great question though of, are these Nepali children, these African American children, these white children, like so are they members of the church now? Okay. And should then they be coming to church? Okay. So the church is an old German Lutheran church that just like stopped singing German Lutheran hymns like a couple days ago. Doesn't really connect, right? And there was no connection with the families. It was just we dunked them in the river, and that was the end of it. After my kids didn't start attending church and families didn't go to worship, I came to the same pastor and I said, I have more kids. This is great, more kids to baptize. And he said to me, I am no longer going to baptize your children because they won't attend my church. So this is when angry urban Peggy comes out. Because there's a whole other side of me that just can, yeah. We so cared about the structure and being a member and filling out that piece of paper that comes out every year. I had to do it as principal. I'm sure pastors have to do it too, about how many members you have in your church. And that thing's bad, right? So, he had to fill that thing out, and he was so caught up in doing that he didn't want to let kids, be part of the church and be baptized and stuff like that. So then what's a girl to do? Well, if they can't be connected to the church that is up the stairs from the school, let's find another one. Danger. Warning, blinking lights, do not do this, right? I invited a husband-wife pastor team who were parents of 3 of my children. They were a Latino couple. They had a Hispanic ministry a couple blocks away from the school, and I said to them, as the group of first graders is leaving at the top of the church, and the second grade class is coming up, could you say some prayers? Okay, you see where this is going, right? Okay, and so the problem though was the microphone didn't work that day. Okay, the microphone that the pastor never fixed. The female pastor didn't think anything of that, because there was another microphone that was working in the church that day. Do you know where it might have been? Yeah, the pulpit. And that was the end of Peggy at Luther Memorial School. Because I never told her to go up there. I will say that to, I didn't do that, but I am pretty unrepentant on the fact that the structure wasn't working for my children, and my children needed something, a place where they could hear the gospel, possibly in their own language, because there's a thought. And the church wasn't providing it, and so I was trying to connect them to Jesus. It became such an issue, and I became such an issue, that the pastor came to me, and I already knew like the end of the road was happening, right? And so I was already working or going back into public school ministry, because that's a ministry too, that's a calling. So I was already on the way out on the day that the pastor came down with an envelope, and inside the envelope was an eviction notice over this. And so I looked at him and I say, if I go, can the kids stay? And he said yes. So the beautiful thing is the kids are still there. They're at that campus. There is another campus down the street with another there's 270 kids at Luther Memorial today that are hearing the gospel every single day, despite the stupid structures that try to be a stumbling block to them, right? So that there's good news in that. So, and just because I'm not there anymore, that doesn't matter, because the kids are still getting what they need. So where's the good news in all that again?
No, thank you very much.